design thinking process for our STEM unit of work on natural disasters. The first phase in the design thinking process is in Immersion.
In this section, we learned about bushfires, cyclones, earthquakes, and tsunamis.
We spent time learning about what causes bushfires and the impact they have on people, animals, and the environment.
We also learnt about cultural or cool burning practices, which is how the First Nations people used to manage the lands before Europeans came. Some parts of Australia are reintroducing the practice to help manage land and reduce bushfire impacts.
Did you know it's not the fire that causes death on humans? It's actually the radiation of the fire.
Then we learned about cyclones, and we found out where most likely they are to occur, near the equator, in the tropical areas. We also learned about how they're caused and the impact they have on people, animals, and the environment.
Did you know there are 5 categories of cyclones, and the 5th one is the most dangerous because of the wind speeds and other parts of the world. Cyclones are called hurricanes and typhoons.
The natural disaster that we looked at was earthquakes and tsunamis. We looked at this together as often tsunamis occur after an earthquake has happened in the ocean.
Did you know the worst earthquake ever recorded was in 1960, and it was the Chilean earthquake? And it was a magnitude of 9.4 to 9.6. And the most expensive earthquake was in 2011, and it was a huge tsunami that impacted across lots of countries.
The next phase of the design thinking process is the synthesis phase. In this phase, we record everything we learned and remembered about the natural disasters and spent time organising and thinking using our hexagonal thinking process.
This helped us make connections between ideas and figure out where we wanted to go with our topic. In the middle is the topic, and the surrounding hexagons is all the problems. The ones with the stars on it have the biggest impact, and all groups chose one of the ones with the stars on it to do a design about.
Once we had picked our topics to look at the biggest issues connected to the natural disasters, then we had to turn it into how can we questions.
Some of the questions that we're investigating and solving include: how can we build cities to withstand earthquakes? How can we reduce impact of bushfires from farms and crops? How do we get access to clean water after a cyclone?
After we came up with our questions, we had to design our prototypes. We had to share with others and receive feedback to improve them.
Now we're in the middle of making.
We are aiming to be ready to share our work at our expo by week 4. We hope seeing you there.
Here is our project list. This shows a snapshot of our learning for our STEM topic. At the top is all about bushfires, cyclones, and earthquakes and tsunamis.
We also looked at some infographics on all of these natural disasters. We brainstormed questions and wonderings. We have some examples of our questions and thinkings.
You can see they chose the 5 top issues by using a star and then picked one to focus on.
Hi, my name's Ivana.
Hi, my name's Imeth.
Welcome to Teacher Feature. Today we have with us Sage. Sage, how are you going?
I'm good, how are you?
Good, thank you.
Sage, how long have you worked with us?
Not too long, only since March this year, but I've been loving every minute.
Sage, what was your first job?
So my first job was working at Cheapers Chips when I was about 16, just before I went to Italy.
What do you like to do in your free time?
I really like to read, I go for some walks sometimes, and I bake. I love baking.
What do you love to bake?
My favourite thing to bake is probably my grandma's gingerbread recipe, and it's been around since 1901.
What's something interesting we might not know about you?
I'm half Scottish.
Show us your best Scottish accent.
Oh gosh, okay, the new, it's pretty terrible.
If money were no object, what would be your dream job?
Doggy daycare owner. I'd love to hang out with dogs all day.
Thanks so much, Sage, for coming in.
That's okay, it's been an absolute delight.